This is my coach, Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. The Catholic Church in the Dark Ages demanded that the Jews become Christian. They demanded it. If you didn't become a Christian, they'd kill you. They would kill you. The Jews, with a little bit of intelligence, said fine, and they became Christian as far as the world was concerned, though they practiced their Jewish religion under the table, risking their lives. But for the world, they looked like Christians. Okay, each to their own. And if you think that's the only time people play games to try to save their lives or protect themselves, you'd be wrong. One of the smartest men I ever met, a Mexican gentleman, met him when I was shooting black powder back in the day, and he was a native Sioux, a Sioux tribe. Yeah. And he had the name, he could even speak Sioux language. He was a wonderful guy, give you his shirt off his back, just a great guy. One time, and we had many conversations, and after a shoot one day, we were sitting around the campfire, and he just openly said, "You understand that I'm not really Sioux?" And I said, "Oh, I don't care what you call yourself, but why are you pretending then to be a Sioux?" And he said, "Well, it's simple." He said his people came to America illegally in the 1950s, and they were part of that 500,000 that the United States made them all go back to Mexico. Now they came back again, and this time they came legally. And he was born in America in the 1960s. But he said that's always lived with me and haunted me, what my people talked about. And he said, I want a better chance of being able to stay in America. And he said, if by chance something happens, everything from some kind of a disaster that or event that maybe the Mexicans did, or a single Mexican did, that irritates everybody and says, okay, all the Mexicans out, that type of mentality, he said, I changed my name to a Sioux name. I learned the language and their culture up one side and down the other. And he said, that's a good indication I got a better chance when they start rounding up Mexicans if I can say, I'm Sioux. My family is Sioux. He's married and he had kids by then. He said, that way, he said, I've got a good chance of staying in America by pretending to be Sioux. By pretending to be Sioux. And you might think, well, that's a bit heavy-handed to even consider such things or to give up his real name. But he was more than willing to do that to stay in America. But if you think that it couldn't get worse in the future, we do have Muslims. There are some Muslims in the United States that brag that they're going to take over the United States. And they say only Muslims will be allowed to stay. So you may be, or your children or your grandchildren may well have to pretend, if nothing else, pretend to be Muslim just to stay in the United States. From the past to the present, history is all too often repeating itself. Best be ready. Thank you for your time.